near Evergreen. So this is where we're picking up on a good bit of rotation. This is our shear rate. Look at that, where that red's starting to pop up now. So this is technology that is exclusive to our Barron product. So we have it here at WSFA 12 News. It's exclusive to us, and it is catching rotation right near Belleville. So this, with each radar scan, it's also important to remember that these storms are constantly moving. So where we see rotation, the tornado is likely a little bit ahead of that, a little bit to the east of that. But this is what we are seeing right now. I'll bring it back to reflectivity and put this into play mode so you can see how we've generally watched this storm move on through. It is booking it to the east. We'll take this out of play mode and wait for a new scan here. But again, we have a tornado warning that is just north of Castleberry. So if you're in the Castleberry area, you are not in the warning polygon. Evergreen, you are dead center in this polygon. You need to be in your safe spot immediately. If you have any friends or family who are in Evergreen, you need to make sure that they are in their safe spot immediately. Make sure to call them, text them, make sure they are moving indoors. This is a very serious and life-threatening situation. Belleville, Evergreen, Centerville, Flat Rock. Interior room, no external windows, no walls. Get to a bathroom or a closet that's inside an interior room. Have a helmet or a mattress or a pillow, something to cover your head, something that's soft that will help keep you safe. This is moving east at 45 miles an hour. So a thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 4 miles east of Repton or 12 miles west of Evergreen, moving east at 45 miles an hour. So there's Repton. Obviously, this is now off to the east. There's Belleville, right over Belleville, heading towards Evergreen, getting closer and closer with every scan. Evergreen, you need to be in your safe spot immediately. This is now knocking on your back door. So we are seeing rotation associated with this storm. Those of you up towards Booker's Mill, you need to be in your safe spot as well. You are included in this tornado warning. Flat Rock as well. Let's see, this is again moving off to the east. So I'm going to put a track on this to try to time out when this storm will arrive to what towns. So moving east at about 45 miles an hour. Let's see, it could hit the Evergreen exit along I-65 if you're traveling down along I-65 in just a couple of minutes, 5 minutes or so. So if you live near exit 96, the Evergreen exit 96 on I-65, you need to be in your safe spot immediately. The downtown Evergreen area, Mackenzie, it would reach you closer to 327 if it stays on this path and moving like this quickly as well. The hail core will be moving into Evergreen within the next few minutes. The potential continues for up to tennis ball size hail and the potential for a tornado. So this is not a confirmed tornado. Correct, Tyler? Is that what you saw from them as well?
So far. Not confirmed yet.
Not confirmed. So that doesn't change anything. You still need to be in your safe spot right now, immediately. It's a very dangerous storm, as we've been saying. So possibility of producing a tornado. It is producing hail. It could be up to tennis ball size. That is extremely damaging and dangerous hail. Also, 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts, as we discussed, that can cause a lot of damage as well. So this is moving off to the east. We are watching it very closely. Again, quickly moving to the east at about 45 miles an hour. Let's clear the screen here, reset the stage a little bit. Notice it's this one cell here. If you remember us talking over the past couple of days, we said the second round would come, and it would come in a much more scattered activity, in a scattered way. And that is what we are seeing. Notice all across parts of central Alabama and South Alabama, we are seeing pop-up thunderstorms. And with that, they still have the potential to rotate, produce hail, and produce damaging wind gusts. So not everyone is seeing rain. I'm sure a lot of you are ready for me to get off your screen because it's sunny outside. This problem is, although these are so localized, but these are potentially life-threatening storms, and we have a life-threatening storm now bearing down on Evergreen. So this tornado polygon has been cut and updated a bit. Repton, you are now out of it. Belleville, you are now starting to get out of it too. This is bearing down on Evergreen as we speak. So Evergreen, you have run out of time. Safe spot right now. Safe spot right now. Interior room, lowest level, lowest floor. Grab something soft if you can. Don't waste a lot of time though. You need to get into your safe spot immediately. Again, now this is right over Evergreen, heading towards Centerville, Flat Rock as well. So This is where we're seeing that rotation. Yeah, right over Evergreen, crossing over I-65. Let me see if we have any new updates. No updates from the National Weather Service office in Mobile, except for the fact that they have continued that tornado warning for Conecuh County. So Evergreen, Centerville, Mount Union, you are all in this. Flat Rock as well. This is heading off to the east, crossing over I-65. Also, I keep saying if you have friends or families in these towns, call them. If you know anyone traveling along I-65, make sure that they do not run into this storm. Best idea to pull off somewhere, exit, wait for this to pass over the interstate. That could be a very dangerous situation as well. You do not want to drive into this storm. So here's a look at it now. This is your polygon. It's all in Conecuh County. Georgiana, off to the north of that, there's Greenville. This is for Evergreen. It is a small, isolated storm. It is a very dangerous and life-threatening storm. So that's why we are staying on air with this. Again, we have the possibility of a tornado. It is rotating. We also have the possibility of up to tennis ball size hail. It is dropping a lot of hail. We actually have a hail tracker here, a hail detector, and it's picking up on some large hail just off to the west of downtown Evergreen. So on the west side of the interstate there, that purple that's popping up, that's where it has caught large hail that is likely falling. So we are keeping an eye on the hail situation, also on the damaging wind situation, and of course the tornado potential as well, as this storm is rotating as it heads off to the east. So very dangerous storm now crossing over I-65 through Evergreen, through the Evergreen exit. I'm going to keep stepping over here to this computer every once in a while just to check on everything, make sure that we have it all covered. The severe thunderstorm watch is continuing for a lot of you, and it's for this reason exactly. These thunderstorms, they're very scattered. Not everyone is seeing them, but if a thunderstorm does pop up in your location, it has the potential to be very dangerous, and you would need to move inside quickly. So I know a lot of people are out and about. It is a Saturday, and for a lot of you, you're seeing sunshine. There's not a whole lot of rain on radar when it comes down to it compared to this morning. But if you are out and about, if you have plans to head out and about, you need to keep your First Alert Weather app close by. You need to have multiple ways of receiving weather warnings, because just like this storm will pop up quickly and it will intensify quickly. With all that sunshine out there, that's fuel. It's refueling the atmosphere. It's making it more unstable, and therefore that means that these storms can intensify quicker and be much stronger than they would have if it was cloudy. So with the sunshine, I know we like to see sunshine on a Saturday, not a good thing, because if a storm does move through and moves through your area, it has much more potential to be strong or potentially severe, like what we have in Evergreen right now. It is directly over Evergreen. This is a very dangerous storm. It is rotating. There is a tornado warning for Evergreen and Centerville and Flat Rock. And this is producing hail, massive hail. It is producing hail that's up to tennis ball size, massive chunks of ice falling from the sky. Extremely dangerous situation, extremely damaging situation. Everyone needs to be inside as this storm moves on through. You can kind of see here, likely this is where a lot of that hail is falling. Oh, new radar scan, there we go. So those of you over Evergreen, if there is a tornado, it is directly over Evergreen now. Hail is likely falling over Evergreen. Very gusty winds, very heavy rain. I'll quickly turn on lightning. Yep, you can see a whole lot of lightning flashing with this storm as well. A whole nother hazard that this storm brings. So a very, very dangerous situation for Evergreen is underway as we speak. Whole lot of lightning associated with that system as well. Tornado is moving east tornado warning for this storm, which is moving east at 50 miles an hour. Let's see, we have a storm report as well. Oh, that's back in Mississippi. Okay, that's good news that we don't have any storm reports yet. Unfortunately, I don't have a good feeling about this system. Even if it's not producing a tornado, it is producing likely some form of damage when it comes to hail or wind. Very, very serious situation here in Evergreen, Centerville, Mount Union, and Flat Rock. Over towards Shreve as well. Mackenzie, you're on the outside of this warning polygon, but if this continues, it could head in your direction. So this is a first alert heads up to those of you in the Mackenzie area as well. We will watch as this storm moves off to the east. It is very strong. It's strengthened. We were watching it, and to be honest with you, we were already planning to cut in because we saw how dangerous of a storm this was, because we saw the hail that it was producing and the damaging wind that it was producing as well. So we were already ready to go to cut on within the next commercial break, and then the tornado warning popped, and we were nervous about that because we saw that it was starting to rotate. And now the National Weather Service office in Mobile says this is not a good situation. It is rotating too much for our liking. And so because of that, that rotation is directly over Evergreen. So if there is a tornado, it is directly over Evergreen right now, and it is heading off to the east, and quickly. It is moving quickly. Evergreen, I am serious. If you are not in your safe spot, you need to be in your safe spot right now. You have completely run out of time. You need to be in an interior room on the lowest floor, and you need to make sure that you are away from windows, away from exterior walls, because this rotation is directly over Evergreen now in Conecuh County. Centerville, Mount Union, Flat Rock, Shreve, I keep calling out your names. I'm trying to get your attention as well, because once this passes Evergreen, it's going to be heading towards you. We are watching this closely. It is moving quickly. It is moving at 50 miles an hour. So here's where we're seeing rotation. North Main Street, Wild Ave, over towards Highway 42, it looks like. Let's see, Bruner Avenue just heads to the south of that too. It continues down. You can really see this is directly over the heart of Evergreen. I'll really zoom in closely here. So downtown Evergreen, you have run out of time. That is where we are seeing massive rotation in the atmosphere. Good bit of rotation here heading off to the east. So now, again, these are scans. We're waiting for our next scan. This rotation coming in directly over Evergreen. The next scan is probably have moved off to the east a bit. So if you are in East Evergreen, now is your time to be buckled down and be in your safe spot. This will continue to move off to the east. Right on cue, there's our new scan, continuing to push off to the east. Slowly but surely, we're getting new updates and new looks at this rotation here. And I am not a fan of this rotation directly over Evergreen. Yes, we are continuing to watch this closely. We are continuing to stay in constant communication with the National Weather Service office in Mobile. We are also in communication with the Weather Service office in Tallahassee and in Birmingham, because that covers all of our coverage area. And all of these storms popping up have the potential of being severe. Tornado warning right now for Conecuh County, right over Evergreen. It is directly over Evergreen. Those of you elsewhere, we'll do a quick check on the rest of our radar. We have severe thunderstorms popping down in the Wiregrass. We've been on air for a couple of tornado warnings down in the Wiregrass as well. More thunderstorms popping up across parts of central Alabama. I'll quickly turn on the lightning here too. You can see a good bit of lightning in this cell forming heading towards Luverne, and then another one just south of Montgomery. Greenville, you're getting some rain out of this. All of these storms that develop, like this one near Pintlala here, it will produce it will produce very heavy rain. It could start flashing lightning quickly. If one of these storms pops up near you, you need to move inside quickly, because a lot of these storms also have the potential of producing hail. That was our main concern. And unfortunately, we can't rule out rotation within these either, especially now that we have a good bit of sunshine out there. The atmosphere is getting more unstable. And unfortunately, we have situations like this right here in Evergreen, where there is now a tornado warning. There is rotation directly over Evergreen. So those of you in Evergreen and on the east side, stay in your safe spot. It is still bearing down on you. It is still directly overhead. New scan coming in, Centerville. Look at this here. You see where we start to see the purple, but then the black color kind of pops up in the middle? That's usually a good sign of hail. That's one way to see some hail starting in our in the radar scan. And then of course we have our hail detector, and it shows that hail is possibly falling near Evergreen and near Centerville right now as well. So very dangerous situation, of course, because we have our tornado warning, but also because of the hail that is likely with this storm and the damaging wind, 70 miles per hour. That can also cause as much damage as some tornadoes. It's sometimes hard to tell whether a tornado went through or just a severe thunderstorm warning. That's why you have to take severe thunderstorm warnings just as seriously, because they can produce the same amount of damage. They can blow roofs off of some homes and off of some structures, and they can knock over trees, and they can knock over power lines, and they can blow away fences. This storm here, this one right here, has the potential to do all three. has the potential to produce a tornado, has the potential to produce hail, not just any hail, tennis ball size hail. Imagine tennis balls of ice falling out of the sky. Very serious, scary, and dangerous situation. And of course, just straight line winds at 70 miles an hour. So very dangerous situation in Conecuh County. Again, this is now moving off to the east of Evergreen, slowly but surely. We'll get another check on our velocity because that's where we can see rotation. As you hear us say often, we kind of look for where the red touches the green. It's a little bit more intricate than that, but that's just an easy way to quickly explain it to you at home. And so that's where we're really seeing this rotation right here. Now on the east side of Evergreen, just north of the Centerville area, very near Flat Rock. This is where we're really seeing rotation in Conecuh County. So this will continue to move off toward the east. At last update, it was moving at 50 miles an hour. Let's see. Yep, they still have this moving east at 50 miles an hour. Evergreen has some reports coming in of dime-sized hail, so this is absolutely producing hail. No surprise there. We could see that just with our reflectivity, where you see the black color starting to pop up. That's likely some hail. It's catching hail when it scans the storm, when the radar scans the storm. So very closely watching the situation for the possibility of a tornado. Tornado warning is still in effect for those of you here. You see this red polygon that's flashing. It includes Mount Union. It goes up to Shreve, over towards Flat Rock, down towards Evergreen and Centerville as well. That is a tornado warning. We could have a possible tornado within this area drop on the ground. We also have hail forming. We have reports of dime-sized hail, but with a system and a storm like this, it could produce tennis ball size hail. So we are watching that very closely as well. And of course, the potential for damaging winds up to 70 miles an hour. So we are staying on air with this situation because it is such a dangerous storm. So I know we are cutting over the hockey game right now, but we are going to stay on air because it is a life-threatening situation for those in Conecuh County. So the tornado warning has been continued for Conecuh County. It goes until 3:30 p.m. We're going to stay on this until this warning either expires, until we see the warning expire. It might be extended, though, as it continues to move off towards the east, and it will start to get into other territory as well. If it passes through some of these counties, if it continues to head north, it might head into the Birmingham area eventually. So we're going to hold on to this. Again, this is Conecuh County. Right now they have the warning stopping at the edge of Conecuh County, but we'll hold on to it. Those of you closer to the Dozier area, even if this is not going to be extended, this tornado warning, it's something that you need to take seriously because, as we've been talking about, multiple severe weather modes here, including hail and damaging wind up to 70 miles an hour. So for those of you in this area, we are going to continue to keep a very close eye on this storm. This is a tornado warning that is in effect until 3:30 p.m. for Conecuh County. It is now moving off to the east of Evergreen. I'm going to pull up velocity. Let's see what we can see here. So this is on the east side of Evergreen, near Flat Rock, near Centerville, and Mount Union. You are on the south side of this. You are in the tornado warning, as is Shreve, so everyone needs to be in their safe spot and watching this closely. Sorry, you good, Tyler? Yeah. He's keeping constant communication with the National Weather Service offices, and he's doing a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff. You can tell people to head to the First Alert Weather app for a new app video update that he just pushed out as well. And so he's also making sure to collect information, and he is keeping a close eye on everything and will let us know if we need to know something to pass along to you. So I am not here alone. I have Tyler Seabree doing all the important work in the back. Now, tornado warning, yes, this is in effect for Conecuh County. Let's see, I don't see any new updates from the National Weather Service office. We will keep an eye on them, and we're going to continue to chat with them to make sure they aren't seeing any new updates either. But right now, this is the story. This storm is rotating over Conecuh County. So if you are in Centerville or Mount Union or Flat Rock or Shreve, you need to be in your safe spot. For the rest of you here, we'll just take this over to reflectivity quickly, just your normal radar. Notice all of these counties here, shaded. That's a severe thunderstorm watch. That's in effect until 9 o'clock tonight. And that's because everyone here within this shaded area also has the potential to be under a situation which Evergreen just was and parts of Conecuh County are. That's why we are on air with them right now, because you want us to do the same. If one of these thunderstorms pops up in your neck of the woods and over your town, don't worry, we will be here. We will be covering it for you because it is a life-threatening situation. It is a very dangerous situation. So we need to make sure everyone is aware. With all of these storms that pop up, they have the potential of becoming severe. One example right over here, including Thomasville, that's a severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect till 4 o'clock. So all of these little cells that develop here, they have the possibility of becoming supercells and becoming severe with damaging wind gusts, 70 miles an hour or so, hail, sometimes massive hail, and of course, potential to rotate with this, the potential to rotate, and therefore we have our severe thunderstorm warning. Or excuse me, our tornado warning. Now, Tyler, I do see that the severe thunderstorm warning in Conecuh County has expired. They're just continuing this tornado warning, correct? Is that what they're doing?
Yeah, no official reports yet other than the hail report you mentioned.
Okay.
And I'm also following someone who is actually chasing this storm.
Oh.
And I haven't seen anything that would suggest a tornado on the ground throughout their live stream yet. So.
Okay, that's good news. Thank you for watching that. So we are going to continue to watch this closely from a radar perspective. Tyler's keeping an eye on data and on information that's coming in from the ground. Now, if you are in this area, we don't want your information. We want you in your safe spot. Once this passes over, you can feel free to send in your reports, whether you saw hail, damaging wind, or some sort of rotation. But if you are in the Mount Union area, Flat Rock, and Centerville, still some rotation here, so we are going to stay on air as we see this slight rotation as this tornado warning is still in effect. So for those of you still in this little corner here of Conecuh County, you need to be in your safe spot. Evergreen, you are still in the tornado warning polygon. The good news is it looks like that rotation has passed over to your east. So another severe thunderstorm warning. Oh, that's for Clark County, which we were just looking at. So that's the story. This is going to be an all-day event. Hopefully, we don't have any more tornado warnings, but with all of these supercells and all these thunderstorms that are forming here, each and every one of them has the potential to be severe. That is why we are here. That is why we were here all night last night, and we are here throughout the day today because we are watching each and every one of these thunderstorms that develop. So again, if you're about to head out the door, maybe you have Saturday evening plans, and you think you're good to go because it's sunny outside, you have to pay very close attention to the radar because these cells, they're isolated to scattered at best. So you might see sunshine, and then the next thing you know, a thunderstorm's rolling in, and it is a very dangerous situation because with all that sunshine that you saw and you were enjoying, it was helping to refuel the atmosphere to make it very unstable and make it very likely for, oh, you need a clicker?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Let's see if I can give you some sort of help and a breather. 1 second. Lee will keep taking it away.
Tyler
I'll see
is
if I can
good coworker.
help it and give her a breather, yeah.
He will probably jump over to the wall. The great news is here we have two different products. So we have WSI and we have Barron, and they each are excellent at what they do. They each are excellent at tracking storms and really diving into a storm, deep diving into a storm, like what we've been doing. But sometimes one system can pick up better on a situation than the other one can. So sometimes one can see rotation better, or one can see correlation coefficient, which is what we use to look for debris signatures and for debris flying through the air. So this right here with this color scheme, this is awesome. Josh Johnson tweaked our color scheme here to make it show where we can really see the heaviest rain and likely some hail within that too. That is showing that hail is likely, and here we'll pull up our hail detector, which is what we have here with our Barron technology. Check that out. Likely hail falling in Conecuh County with this, within this tornado warning. I'm going to zoom this out here. Yeah, it looks like we have another severe thunderstorm warning now. So this is a severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect until 4 o'clock. Let's see. This is Clark EMA, 1-inch diameter hail northeast of Coffeyville, and then that will pass between Fulton and Thomasville. Tyler, there is a lot to keep track of here. So just to let everyone know, we are on air for a tornado warning. You see it at the bottom of your screen here. It's in Conecuh County. But Tyler, we have a bunch of other storms to watch too. These thunderstorms keep popping up, and they all have the potential to be severe when it comes to hail as well, and damaging wind, which we know can produce the same amount of damage as a tornado.
Yeah, you know, and that's the important aspect of this entire thing, is that just because it's not a tornado warning, and I've got our other weather system up over here where we can look at the same data but kind of give you a different viewpoint, whatever you want to call it here on this same storm we've been following. And just because it's not a tornado warning, if it's a severe thunderstorm warning, you still need to treat it very seriously. And that's what this new polygon that has just popped up, which includes areas to the east of Conecuh County. So we're getting into southern Butler County and over into Crenshaw County as well. This is a severe thunderstorm warning, and that's going to be for large hail and damaging wind gust potential here. And that's for this storm, which is still technically, as Lee has continued to talk about here, certainly deserving of a break to catch her breath. This storm right along US 84, getting ready to head toward Alabama 55 once it crosses into their far northern Covington County, north of Andalusia here. If you're in Andalusia, this is going to go north of you, and we can even go down there and show you exactly where Andalusia is. There it is. It's going to go north of you. That severe thunderstorm warning is north of Andalusia. It's north of Opp. This is for this severe thunderstorm warning is for the storm that has prompted that tornado warning, which goes until 3:30 here for Conecuh County. So because we still have this tornado warning, and because there's an additional severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued out ahead of it, we are maintaining coverage here despite the other programming ongoing. And if this makes anyone mad, we are sorry, but we are also trying to keep folks safe. So the tornado warning is in Conecuh County until 3:30. The severe thunderstorm warning out ahead of it includes additional counties, but it is not a tornado warning. It is a severe thunderstorm warning. So that's what we're watching here. And we can track this as well and give you an idea of what we're looking at. We can go ahead and put this in play mode and see where this is headed. Look at the motion there, eastward, almost slightly north of east, and it's moving fast. So this thing is going to be moving at 40, 50 miles an hour, and it's going to be in your neighborhood shortly here. If you're along Alabama 55, it's already over you in far northern Covington County. If you're along US 29 from Andalusia, if you're heading north to Brantley or Luverne, that corridor, US 29, is going to be impacted by this storm big time as we go over the next 30 minutes or so. It is moving east, slightly north of east, very, very quickly here at about 40 to 50 miles an hour. We'll go ahead and stop that, bring back up our analysis mode here, and kind of zoom in and show you some other things that we're looking at. We'll go right back into this storm and give you a zoomed in approach on where this is headed and what towns and what streets are going to be impacted the most by this storm. So there we go. We're going to zoom in a little bit more here. And there's your hail core. This is going to be going between Shreve and Red Level, right along Alabama 55. So that's one of those routes you take to go to the beach, to go down to Destin. If you're familiar, that road, Alabama 55, is a popular road when you get off of Interstate 65, takes you right toward Andalusia and then eventually down to Destin if you go that direction to the beach here. So this is this time of year, well-traveled on a Saturday. That's a popular turnover day for beach traffic. So if you know folks that just happen to be in this part of the state traveling to or from the beach for spring vacation here, this is certainly a storm that's going to be impacting them. This is not something you want to drive through. This is going to be dropping hail to the size of golf balls and the potential for a tornado, at least for now. The tornado warning is for 5 more minutes for Conecuh County, but I'm going to tell you here that this has certainly almost crossed into northern Covington County. So that's some good news for Conecuh County. Evergreen, you are done with this. Just some rain and lightning left over, but a lot of lightning, very heavy rain, and certainly the potential for some hail to the size of golf balls and damaging winds to 60 to 70 miles an hour. We'll go ahead and take you back. We'll go back to the home view here and just give you an idea of what else we may have going on around the area. And other than that storm, which is now almost firmly in northern Covington County, we have the storm back in northern Clark County. That is a severe thunderstorm warning. And typically we don't cut in for severe thunderstorm warnings. So once this tornado warning is allowed to expire, we'll let you go back to regular programming. That's at 3:30 here. So we'll carry this until this red polygon for Conecuh County expires, because then we're left with just severe thunderstorm warnings, which If they're severe enough, we're talking big-time hail or damaging winds that are very intense, over 70 miles an hour, we can come back on for those. Just because it's not a tornado warning doesn't mean we can't come back on. But if we get a tornado warning or a severe thunderstorm that looks very, very dangerous to us, we'll come right back on. But once this tornado warning for Conecuh County expires in 4 minutes, we will take you right on back. Let's go ahead and zoom back into that storm and let you know exactly what we're talking about. We'll stay on this storm for the next few minutes here, and then we'll get you back to regular programming. So here's our zoomed in approach, our zoomed in look at this storm. It still looks impressive. I will say, though, based off of what I'm seeing, in terms of any supercellular form. Now, it has that shape of a supercell, sure, but it doesn't have that classic hook. It doesn't have what you may be looking for a tornado. It does not look like a tornado-producing storm to me, which is probably why the National Weather Service, this new warning that includes northern Covington, southern Crenshaw, southeastern Butler County, that's probably why something, yeah, Lee, what you got for me?
So just, you might want to zip over to Clark County. There is now a tornado warning. They upgraded the severe thunderstorm warning in Clark County to a tornado warning because rotation was increasing. And so you can also jump over to me if you want. I'll give Tyler a break. We'll just take a quick
we'll take you back to the home view, and I'll just show that cell that you're talking about. There's that tornado warning, Lee, between Thomasville and Grove Hill. So I'll let you take that one away, and I'll stay watching the other storm that we've been following as well.
I think that's a good plan. And if and when that storm, this storm here, does dissipate, it looks like they're going to just let it expire at 3:30. We're going to hang on to this one in Clark County just for a little bit because it is heading back into our coverage area, but we will send you back to programming, if only for a little bit. Just know that we might cut back in very quickly. But just to give you all a heads up, those in Thomasville now under a tornado warning because the National Weather Service office saw increasing rotation within this storm. This is out in West Alabama. You hear us talk all the time about how we have a lack of radar coverage in West Alabama. It is a really bad thing because we cannot really dive into the storms as well. But this is enough to absolutely issue a tornado warning because we are looking at this storm so far away that if you do see rotation like this, you have to assume that it is really rotating down towards the ground. And so there is a tornado warning now in effect for Clark County out in West Alabama. And again, if anything, this just drives home the point that each of these storms that develop have the potential to not only be severe, but have rotation within them as well and have the possibility of forming a tornado. So this is a tornado warning for Clark County, and it is 11 miles northwest of Grove Hill, and it is moving east, they say at 60 miles an hour. So Conecuh County, you have now been expired. Your tornado warning is over in Conecuh County. Clark County, we're going to stay on just a couple more minutes just to give everyone a heads up who's in the path, and then we will send you back to programming, but we will cut back in if needed. So they said that this is heading at 60 miles an hour out to the east. Let's see. So if it's really heading 60 miles an hour, that means it's booking it. Fulton, it will arrive to you at around 340. Coy at 356. Beatrice, you would technically be in the path of this storm as well. We'll watch for you. If this heads your direction, though, it would arrive closer to 413. Hamburg at 424. Pineapple at 425. So those of you, Beatrice, Pineapple, you know you are well in our coverage area. We will absolutely jump back on this system. It is something to watch very closely. Camden, you are just to the north, technically, if that line was extended. We're going to watch for you too, Camden. That would likely be closer to the 4 o'clock hour arriving in your neck of the woods. So we'll clear this. We'll watch this here. This is a new tornado warning. Look at that. That's rotation. I don't know, Tyler, what do you think? You think we should maybe stay on for this one?
The problem here, obviously, as you alluded to, is that this is outside of the radar area, but I'm checking every radar we do have, and all of them do show strong rotation here.
Yeah.
I know it's in a spot where radar data may not be ideal, but the fact that every radar we have that shows a similar situation would...
Exactly. If we are picking up on rotation like this out in West Alabama, it is a serious situation. So Tyler, we're trying to have an internal discussion while you are all included in this. Normally, if there's a storm that's outside of our coverage area, we'll jump on for a couple of minutes, give everyone a heads up. But in this situation, we might want to hang on to this storm because it is rotating. It looks serious. It looks life-threatening. And unfortunately, it is heading towards us here within our coverage area. So we're going to watch this system closely. Again, this is a tornado warning now in effect until 4:15. Thomasville and Fulton are in this. This is in Clark County.
And yes. If you want to touch on, they just pulled a severe thunderstorm for Montgomery County, including Pike Road. So if you want to touch on that really fast.
There we go. Yes. Okay. So we have a lot of this popping up now. Now, just to let you all know, this is not surprising. This is exactly what we expected. Are they saying, is it for hail? Look at that. It looks like
right now, just quarter-size hail and 60-mile-an-hour wind, which we obviously normally wouldn't cut in for, but since it's for a very populated area, Pike Road, of course, figured wouldn't hurt.
Absolutely. And you can see the hail core starting to form over Pike Road. So Pike Road, if it's not hailing yet where you are, you might have some time to move your car inside under a carport or into a garage quickly, but likely you'll start seeing hail in Pike Road as well. Severe thunderstorm warning continues for Clark. Let's see, Tallahassee is keeping an eye on the storms. The original storm that was down in Conecuh County that had a tornado warning associated with it. Okay, yep, so we are watching this very closely. This is a tornado, we have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect for Montgomery County that includes Pike Road, and that's likely for damaging wind gusts and some hail possible directly over Pike Road, and it is moving off to the east. Let's see, severe thunderstorm warning for Macon and Montgomery. That will go until 4 o'clock, and then golf ball size hail is popping up in Covington County. Hail reported in Covington County, golf ball size. Tyler, there is a lot to keep track of here. I'm going to go down there now where we're seeing golf ball size hail fall. Likely right here. That's where you would see that hail core. So this is north of Andalusia. Notice here, Dozier heading in your direction. That purple right there, that's likely where we're starting, where it would be hailing, where radar is likely picking up on hail being lofted within that thunderstorm and then falling down up to golf ball size hail there. This severe thunderstorm warning includes Brantley and Luverne as well. So those in Brantley and Luverne, you have time to move your car under a carport or into a garage if you can. Move it to safety. If you have anything breakable outside, not a bad idea to move that to cover as well because these storms are producing hail, a whole lot of hail. I'm going to jump back over towards the tornado warning, but Tyler, have you been tracking this tornado warning on Clark County, and what are you seeing? Yeah,
and I just got word in my ear before we jump to that is we do have a camera down in Andalusia. We're going to pull that up in Andalusia, I believe, depending on the way that's oriented. You might be able to look north into that large hail-producing storm, and this is the kind of scene you're going to see today. This is in Andalusia, and you can see, obviously, it's raining, but you get these supercell thunderstorms that go up, and you're going to see them way off in the distance. These storms are tall. They're producing hail, and you can see them from miles away. Andalusia, obviously, is not in northern Covington County where that storm is, but if you look toward that storm, you can certainly see it, billowing cumulonimbus clouds, and you can see the base of the storm from a decent mile away, a decent distance away, miles away, in fact. So these storms, if you're ahead of these and you know they're coming to your neighborhood or wherever you may be, your activities for a Saturday, Troy Fest, I know, is going on, a couple of other events across the area going on, you will know these are coming because you'll see them off in the distance. Sometimes our severe weather isn't that way, but these you will certainly see coming. It could be sunny where you are right now. Cumulus clouds, sunshine mixed in. But if you look in the direction of any of these storms, you will most definitely be able to tell they are coming. And that's a look from Andalusia there. So thank you for those in the back helping out with this coverage as well, letting me know that we do have that shot available if need be. But jumping back here, let's go ahead and, you know what, let's focus on that Clark County storm. There it is. Northern Clark County has that tornado warning. So what we're going to do, we already have zoom on here. So what we're going to do is we're going to zoom into that storm. and let you know what we're looking at there near Thomasville and Grove Hill. We'll go in even farther and show you that storm a little bit more. This is a tornado warning for northern Clark County. It includes Thomasville, the south side of the city. I think Thomasville proper, you're probably looking at just hail. I don't think you're in the tornado part of this storm. That would be this little hook down here. That would include Fulton, though. I will say that. This is north of Grove Hill, north of US 84. The Fulton community, south of Thomasville, is where that tornado would be if it certainly were there. And it's going to end up here. This is the Wilcox County line. It's going to straddle that here shortly in the next 10 minutes or so. It's moving very fast due east. So that's going to put it right along that county line with Wilcox here. And if that motion continues, that's going to take it here eventually into the Vredenburg area. And that is going to be a community that is certainly not overly populated, but it's certainly a community nonetheless. We don't like when we have towns, cities, or any populated areas inside of a tornado polygon, which is not there yet. So Fulton, you're under a tornado warning now, and if this storm continues to hold its own, again, it's going to be going off toward the east in that Vredenburg area, the community of Vredenburg, right along the Wilcox County, Monroe County line. That is going to be where this storm is headed. That is going to be the general location of this storm. It's going to straddle the Monroe-Wilcox County line, and that would include there, again, the areas between Franklin and Camden. So if you're familiar with this area in West Alabama, from Fulton straight east, the Beatrice area as well, I would keep an eye on this storm between really Camden and Franklin. So I think the easiest way to say it is if you're along that Wilcox County, Monroe County line, we'll see what they do with this thunderstorm, what they do with the warnings here, if they continue a tornado warning or not. We still have a little bit left. Lee, what was the expiration time on the Clark County tornado warning?
Let's see here. Sorry,
No, you
we're
are
actually
fine.
getting a lot of information coming in. The tornado warning expires at 4:15 p.m.
4:15. Okay, and see, that's another thing you're going to run into with these situations is these storms are moving so fast. That warning goes for another 38 minutes. I do not think it's going to take 38 minutes for this storm to get out of this tornado warning polygon. So 60 miles an hour, yeah, and it's only got to go another 10 miles or so. It's not going to be in that polygon for another 37 minutes. So we'll have to see here, because here's your hail core right there between Thomasville and Fulton. That is very intense on radar here. Hail between Thomasville and Fulton. And then the tornadic aspect is on the southern side of the storm. If there were indeed a tornado, that's going to be getting into Wilcox County, which is still the National Weather Service in Mobile. So they are under this storm right now. The National Weather Service in Mobile is keeping tabs on that storm. They continue to keep tabs on it as well for Wilcox County, because they still are in control of Clark and Wilcox County. So we'll have to see what the National Weather Service in Mobile does with this storm as it heads into far southern Wilcox County, which is one of our counties that we certainly would stay on for if a tornado warning continues. So we'll stop that and show you where it is right now, just south of Thomasville. Actually, let's go ahead and zoom in even farther here. We'll give you an idea of even some of the roads. We'll get street level with this tornado warning and give you an idea of some of the roads that are going to be impacted, are being impacted, or will be impacted shortly. We can go in even farther than that, and that's the great thing we can do with this technology here. We can give you an idea of where these things are to a very high degree. So it's going to be along US 43 that goes north to south across Clark County. That is an intense hail core. We are in northern Clark County here along US 43. So we're talking Thomasville sits right here, down 43 to Fulton. This is north of Grove Hill. Grove Hill, you are not going to be impacted by this part of the storm, but this is a hail-producing storm, upwards of golf ball size hail. Damaging wind gusts to 60 miles an hour, if not stronger. And of course, this is still a tornado warning in this red polygon. And we're waiting here to see what they do, because this right here, this is the Wilcox County line. So we're getting into southwest Wilcox County here with the heart of this storm. So I suspect there's going to be some sort of continuance of a warning or a new warning being issued, or an expansion of the warning. We'll have to see what they do with this, but it's going to be getting into Wilcox County here very, very shortly. And there's going to have to be some sort of issuance of a severe thunderstorm warning, or maybe a tornado warning. And we can even look at rotation. So there's reflectivity. We know what reflectivity looks like. Let's go ahead and analysis mode here, and we'll check rotation. Let's do velocity, and there it is right there. There's the reds up against the green again, right along US 43, Alabama 178 down there, and where those intersect, we're talking an area of rotation. So that is why this tornado warning is still in effect. It's because there's an area of rotation, northern Clark County, right along US 43. And what you got to remember here is in West Alabama, we say it all the time, the radar data may not be the best, but we have the tools to give you the best perspective of these storms. And that's what we're doing here. And that is certainly in an area with poor radar coverage. That is certainly enough to warrant the tornado warning. You've got your greens and your reds going against and toward radar. So that is that rotation, that circular motion within a thunderstorm. That's what that is right there along US 43 in northern Clark County. That's why the tornado warning is in effect. And there's the new warning right there, severe thunderstorm warning, because that is yellow. Let's go ahead and take you out a little bit. Let's take you back home, and then we'll come back into this storm, and we'll show you that new warning. So we have it on zoom mode already, and we're going to take you back into this storm, and there's that new severe thunderstorm warning that extends east of the current tornado warning here. So northern Monroe, southern half or so of Wilcox County. That includes just on the line there with the city of Camden, and same with Beatrice. So both of you in Camden, Beatrice, both of those communities, you need to be aware that you've got large hail and damaging wind gust potential coming your way. But this is not a tornado warning. This is a severe thunderstorm warning for the storm that has prompted a tornado warning for northern Clark County. That is still in Clark County. That storm that prompted the warning just south of Thomasville, and it's booking it at 60 miles an hour to the east. It's going to leave Clark County in the next 5 to 10 minutes and enter southern Wilcox, northern Monroe counties, and that is a severe thunderstorm warning. And if that's all we see out of it, if they don't pull a trigger on another tornado warning, we would certainly be able to get off the air regarding this storm. Once it gets out of Clark and Clark County's tornado warning expires, we can certainly get you back to regular programming. But for now, with the tornado warning, that includes Thomasville, just south of Thomasville for northern Clark County. As that storm heads east, it is still tornado warned, but eventually it will be in a severe thunderstorm warning, which again includes Beatrice, the south side of Camden, almost to Pineapple there, the west side of Pineapple in southern Wilcox and northern Monroe counties. The tornado warning is just for Clark. It's a severe thunderstorm warning for southern Wilcox and northern Monroe counties here. Lee, do you have anything else with our special technology over there at the Vance Law Firm Storm Track Zone? Do you have anything on this storm? What else you got going on? And I know you're talking to the National Weather Service as well.
We're tracking a lot. So we have that one thunderstorm that we are watching and the tornado warning. I do want to jump back over quickly to Montgomery and Macon County, right near Shorter. Hail up to 2 inches is possible. That's large hail. Check this out. This is a hail core here just to the south of Shorter, and this is what we are watching within this storm. Not only hail, but the potential for damaging wind gusts. So for those of you in the Montgomery County area near Shorter over towards Macon County here, we are watching for destructive weather in the form of hail and the form of severe wind. And we look at the big picture here too. This storm down here, this is what was earlier producing a tornado warning over in Conecuh County. And we actually have some storm reports of several trees down. I can actually pull up the Highway 84 in Conecuh County. There are several trees uprooted is what a spotter saw. So we are getting the reports of some damage and some trees blown down. That's back in Conecuh County, but that's associated with this storm here, which is still severe warned, and Luverne and Brantley are within this warning as well. So this is a severe thunderstorm warning right over Dozier. There's likely some hail falling in Dozier, Rose Hill, very near you. This will head towards Bullock and Bluff Springs eventually as well. But the reason why we are still on the air is for this tornado warning over in Clark County. Now, the good news is the National Weather Service office in Mobile has decided to extend it just with a severe thunderstorm warning. And if it does so, if this exits the Clark County area and really stops rotating, then we are going to jump off the air. But we will, of course, stay here. We will cut right back in if a tornado warning is reissued. I'm just clicking through quickly to see what we have. Oh, we have another severe thunderstorm warning issued for Macon and Tallapoosa. Okay, same thing. Winds Right now coming out about 50 miles an hour, hail up to 2 inches. Let's get a quick check on that extension up there. There you go, up towards just barely touching Tallapoosa County. Tuskegee, though, you are now in this. So Shorter and Tuskegee, you have the potential for damaging hail, large hail falling from the sky. You have a little bit of time if you want to get out in the rain. I don't recommend it. In fact, actually, let's look at the lightning. All right, no lightning popping up yet in Tuskegee. Lightning could flash at any moment. A whole lot of lightning back towards Shorter, over towards Milstead, Cross Keys as well. And then just big picture here, there's a lot of these cells that are forming that aren't warned at the moment, but are still dangerous. In fact, look at this cell just north of Greenville near Fort Deposit. I wouldn't be surprised if some small hail falls out of that storm, and it's also producing lightning, so that is very dangerous. And there's another cell up here near Selma and Valley Grande that's showing some lightning flashing as well, and some heavy rain and likely some gusty wind. That's a situation with all of these storms. Look at that back near Union Springs. Heavy rain, likely some gusty wind associated with that as well, and some lightning. Now, everyone here in this shaded area, that is a severe thunderstorm watch. You can see why. All of these storms are popping up, and then they are strengthening and strengthening quickly, partly in due to the sunshine that we saw today. It kind of refueled the atmosphere up. So all of these storms that pop up, oh, tornado warning extended. All right, Tyler, we are not, no, that's the thing. We are not surprised, but just to let everyone here at WSFA know, working in the back now, we are going to stay on air as well because we are watching this new tornado warning. It includes Monroe County and Wilcox County. So we have a new tornado warning for Monroe and Wilcox counties. That goes until 4:30. So we are watching this storm here, just moving through Thomasville. There's Pine Hill. Camden, you are not in the tornado warning. You are just to the north of the tornado warning, but you are in the severe thunderstorm warning. So as you all know, but just to drive home the point, this flashing line here in that yellowish orange color, depending on what you see on your screen, that's the severe thunderstorm warning. And then, of course, the red polygon, as we all know, is the tornado warning. So we're going to track this tornado warning as it continues to move off to the east. Let's see, it is moving at 40 miles an hour to the east. By the way, Repton, when we were tracking that initial tornado warning back in Conecuh County, they have seen nickel to quarter size hail that's been reported back in Repton. So this is now new tornado warning, Monroe and Wilcox. This is what we are watching. It is this storm here, likely also producing a lot of hail. That's likely producing hail, I should say, with that the darker colors that you see popping up there. This is heading to the east, so Culpeper and Coy, you are in this warning as well. And then as this continues to move off to the east, again, it is moving at 40 miles an hour. So I'm going to zoom out some and try to put a track on this to see where it will be heading next. Moving to the east at 40. Let me try to get it exact here. So Coy, this could move through you at 4:02, Hamburg at 4:41, Pineapple at 4:44. So those of you here within this area, you need to be in your safe spot. If you are outside the warning polygon, but just off to the east, places like Pineapple, you need to be getting ready to move to your safe spot quickly if this holds together and holds rotation together. So, okay, we have, again, West Alabama, trying our best to look into this storm. We really need to get a radar out in West Alabama. Please join our valiant efforts in our fight to get a radar posted out here in West Alabama so we can look into the storm better. And this is our Birmingham radar. You can see where they are seeing rotation pop up within this storm here. We'll go over to the Mobile radar, see if we can see a little bit better. So overall, yes, trying to find the rotation here in West Alabama where we don't have a radar, which is very frustrating, but this will move off to the east. They are seeing enough rotation to continue this tornado warning. So now this is a tornado warning that goes until, I just lost it, Tyler. There's so many updates coming in from the National Weather Service office, which is good. So this goes until 4:30 p.m. This is for Monroe and Wilcox counties. So we're going to watch this very closely as it continues to move off to the east. Soon we will be able to clear Clark from this because I think that rotation is really moving out of Clark and continuing to move eastward. So closer, unfortunately, into our coverage area. I'm going to take the lightning off the screen. I forgot I still had that on there. And we will, though, jump back to reflectivity, our normal radar scan here. This is what we are watching. Unfortunately, lots of thunderstorms popping up. More severe thunderstorms now down in southeast Alabama. Changing this over to the Fort Rucker radar quickly so we can get a quick look at the severe thunderstorm warnings that are now issued for places like Elba. And then over towards Ozark, you are now in a severe thunderstorm warning. Likely large hail possible, damaging wind gusts possible as well. And the National Weather Service office in Tallahassee is closely watching this storm for any signs of rotation. That's their latest update. Yep, they issued that severe thunderstorm warning. Winds up to 60 miles an hour, hail up to 1 inch in Coffee and Dale counties. Then that's, of course, not our only warning. We have this severe thunderstorm warning up in central Alabama, likely producing some hail. Tuskegee, check that out. Lots of hail, hail possible, I should say, within this storm near Shorter over towards Franklin and Milstead and near Tuskegee. A lot of heavy rain falling and a lot of lightning flashing as well. And last but not least, definitely not least, we have a tornado warning in effect. Camden, Pine Hill, you are actually to the south, to the north of this. This warning is to the south of you. So if you are in Pine Hill or Camden, you are not technically within the tornado warning polygon. Now, Camden, you are in the severe thunderstorm warning area, so you have the potential to see hail and damaging wind gusts. And as we've been talking about, damaging wind, 60, 70 miles an hour, that can produce just as much damage as some tornadoes. When you look at a picture of straight line wind damage and a picture of tornado damage, it can be hard to tell the difference between the two. They can produce equal amount of damage. So we have a lot going on. Now, again, this is not a surprise. We did know that this would be a very active afternoon. Unfortunately, though, we do have tornado warnings issued for some of our areas. So now we are watching this closely in Monroe and Wilcox counties. That's where we are tracking this tornado warning. The tornado warning is still in effect for Clark County. That goes until 4:15, but the rotation, the part of the storm that we were seeing rotation and where we could see a tornado drop, that has moved out to the east. So now this is just south of Pine Hill. Again, I'm going to try to pull up some velocity to see where we can see that rotation and what the National Weather Service office in Mobile is seeing in order to issue this tornado warning. So this is a tornado warning that goes until 4:30, but as Tyler was saying earlier, these are booking it quickly. So it will likely be out of here till 4:30. Just because we say tornado warning until 4:30 doesn't mean you have until 4:30. It means you have run out of time. You need to be in your safe spot as soon as possible because these are moving so quickly, it will likely be right on out of here, out to the east. So there you go. You saw the update at the bottom of your screen now. The people behind the scenes, our producers and directors and master control operators, are working very hard to keep you updated as well. They took the Clark County warning out of this. So yes, the Clark County tornado warning has been cleared. The Mobile National Weather Service office has cleared Clark from this warning, as I would have done too, because we were just talking about how this now has moved out east of Clark County. That's where they're seeing rotation. So this is still in effect for places in Monroe County and in Wilcox County. So we are watching this closely as it moves off to the east, still producing rotation enough out in West Alabama for a warning to be issued because of the potential for a tornado. So that's the latest update. Mobile has canceled the tornado warning in Clark, but it continues, of course, in Wilcox and in Monroe County. And let's see here in Tallahassee, they're talking about winds possibly in excess of 70 miles an hour in some of the storms that they are watching. Tyler, have you heard anything new from any of the National Weather Service offices? Oh, sorry, before I just cut you off after asking you a question, I do see here, I know that you've been talking with them too, but they saw golf ball sized hail near Pike Road.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, I just got word of that just now as well. We both have the National Weather Service pulled up. I kind of brought over our trusty little mobile, scootable, whatever you want to call this, desk thing. And I'm following along as well with the National Weather Service. I mean, you have to on days like this, but yeah, it looks like we have multiple reports of large hail across the area. The National Weather Service in Birmingham asking Montgomery area folks, so that would be Pike Road and points east into Macon County, what do you have in terms of reports? And golf ball size hail near Pike Road, photos of that. So that certainly has occurred, and thank you, Lee, for that. Dropping some water off. We will certainly be going through plenty of water here over the course of this. So let's take you back to the home view here and show you what we're looking at. This will show you all the different warnings that we have going on across the area. And let me scoot this just a little bit out of the way, and I'll bring it back if needed to read through, because I'm also following along with you on Facebook Live. We are on Facebook Live right now, WSFA 12 News, watching your comments, asking about your particular neighborhood, your certain city. What are you guys expecting? And question-wise, well, the problem with this kind of day is, look, it almost looks like someone took green, yellow, red paint and just threw it at a map. And that's the problem here. Giving you an idea of when it's going to hit every specific neighborhood is very difficult on days like this when you've got multiple storms scattered across the area, all moving in slightly different directions here. So in terms of your exact neighborhood, your exact city, we're not ignoring cities. We're just focusing on the storms that are actually impacting cities and not focusing on areas that are not being hit. So if we're not talking Montgomery, Wetumpka, Hayneville, Otaugaville, Prattville, Greenville, Eufaula, Phoenix City, Auburn, we're not talking you guys right now because you're not under any sort of imminent severe weather threat. So that's why we're not mentioning you guys. That's good if you don't hear your name. If you do hear your town or nearby towns, that's when you need to worry. So we've got severe thunderstorm warnings down in the Wiregrass for parts of Covington, southern Crenshaw, into far northern Coffee and Dale counties. Stop me if you've heard us say Coffee and Dale today before. That severe thunderstorm warning, it includes Tuskegee, the east side of Montgomery County, mainly into Macon County now. And then our big problem maker is a couple of storms out in West Alabama. One of those prompting that tornado warning just south of Camden here. We'll take you in Vredenburg. That is getting ready to knock on your doorstep just to your west, a couple of miles to your west. If there were a tornado with this, it's riding the Monroe-Wilcox County line. Vredenburg, if you have family, friends, or know anyone in that area, be sure to let them know what's going on. That's along Alabama 41, which comes up out of Monroe County through Franklin, west of Vredenburg, and goes right into the city of Camden. Camden, you are not going to be seeing severe weather out of this. You will get some heavy rain, but if you're just, and I mean just south of the heart of Camden, that situation changes drastically. You're talking heavy rain, hail, and the potential for a tornado when you get closer to the Monroe-Wilcox County line. Beatrice, I think this is going to go just a hair north of you, but you are on the fringe of that tornado warning. You may hear sirens. You may be getting alerts on your phone. If you are in Vredenburg, without a doubt, and if you are right along that Monroe-Wilcox County line, just a hair north of Beatrice, that is where that possible tornado will be headed. Outside of the actual tornado, which again is going to be right along Monroe County, Wilcox County line, outside of that, you're still going to get hail and possibly damaging winds that go farther from the core of the storm. So if you're under the tornado warning, just know that even if there's not a tornado, there's a large hail and a damaging wind gust threat. And again, that includes Vredenburg, south of Camden, not by much, and just north of Beatrice. Although if I were in Beatrice, I would certainly be in my safe place right now. When you have a tornado warning, you need to take it seriously. And there is the new scan. Notice here, when we look at storms, we look for what we call a backwards comma or a hook echo with storms. So what we're looking at here is the body of the storm and then a little notch right there. You kind of see that, then kind of hooks back around. That is where a tornado would be sitting if there were one. So this is reflectivity. This shows how heavy precipitation is. That's heavy rain and hail. But we can go into velocity and give you an idea of if there's rotation within this storm. And again, we're in an area of Alabama where you're not going to get the prettiest, most telling radar signatures, and based off of this, I'm not seeing anything overly concerning, but they're maintaining that tornado warning for southern Wilcox, northern Monroe counties here, but nothing in this is overly concerning. Let's go back up there and switch gears and show you a couple other products here, and maybe we can see something else. We'll go into debris tracker, which I have a feeling out in West Alabama it's going to be very messy. Yeah, and with this, we always talk green and blue. If you see a little dot or a little circle of green or dark blue, that is where debris is likely being lofted into the air. Now, you do see a few green pixels, but when it's this messy, that sometimes can just be the radar being very cluttered, very active in the sense that it's not telling us there's debris here. The radar is just having a hard time depicting what's going on because A, the radar's far away, and B, there's a lot going on, multiple storms for that radar beam to shoot through. So it may not be getting a perfect slice of what's going on within this storm. So debris is not telling us anything. That's good news. No suggestion that there would be a tornado on the ground. We can go back into rotation mode, and here this is a little more suggestive here. This is maybe a little easier to digest, a little easier on the eyes when you've got the red and green going up against each other. This is not tight rotation. This is not rotation that would prompt me to tell you there's a tornado on the ground. But it's enough that prompted the National Weather Service to issue that tornado warning for northern Monroe and southern Wilcox counties here, and that's why we're on the air. This tornado warning polygon in red, Vredenburg is right in the middle of that here. If you're back in far southwest Wilcox County, you are certainly still under a tornado warning, but you're beyond what the concerning part of the storm would be. So that's good news. The far west portion of Wilcox County, there's a new radar scan for you. You're under that warning, but the worst is beyond you. It's Vredenburg right now, and then from Camden to Beatrice, if you are between Camden and Beatrice here, you need to be in your safe place. You need to monitor this storm in this situation. Potential rotation heading into Vredenburg right now. Potential tornado. I would not say that it's on the ground by any means, but the potential is certainly there. We can actually zoom in a little bit farther into the Vredenburg area. Notice there that shift in data. We have multiple radars across the area. So depending on where I zoom in or what part of the map I'm on, it's going to pick up the radar that is technically the closest to that. So because I zoomed in on Vredenburg, it picked up on Birmingham's radar, although I wanted Mobile's radar because it's a little bit closer. But you notice with Birmingham's radar, there's not a whole lot going on, although you do see some minor signs of rotation along Alabama 41, approaching Vredenburg, and then eventually Alabama 265. That's also included in that tornado warning. So that's also something to keep in mind here. As we go, let's go back and kind of get into that zone that I want to get to, so to see Mobile's radar here. Let's go back up to that and track mode, and we're going to move and go just a little bit south so we jump back onto Mobile's radar. There we go. So there's Mobile's radar, which is a little closer, which is why it's a better looking image here, easier to discern what's going on. You've got your greens and you've got your reds. We always talk about green and red going towards and away from radar. That's the rotation, that's the movement, the spinning motion, if you will, in the lower levels of the atmosphere. And you certainly have rotation there. Vredenburg, stay in your safe place and do not leave. That's the message for you folks and all of you around that area. And if you're out in this area, you are familiar with what's around you. If you are not technically in the heart of the Vredenburg community, but you are nearby, and you'll know that if you're out there. You need to be in your safe place and stay there because this is certainly a storm that has a history of rotating and still is rotating right along Alabama 41, right along really the Monroe and Wilcox County line here. This is a tornado warning, and that is why we are on the air. Wilcox County is one of our counties here that we cover at WSFA 12 News, so we will stay on during a tornado warning for one of the counties we cover. Wilcox is one of them, and if you're not under a tornado warning and you're wanting the other programming back, if this was in your neighborhood, I have a feeling you would probably want us to be on as well. That's why we are doing this for the Vredenburg community right now, south of Camden. This is that tornado warning. Possible tornado there. Certainly nothing that suggests one's on the ground. I'm watching NWS chat over here as well, and I'll step off to the side and just see. I don't see anything Lee, I so far don't see anything in terms of a confirmed tornado, nothing of the sorts.
No, but we are watching a situation unfold across all of central Alabama. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning now in effect for Lee County. Now, this thunderstorm heading into Lee County was the one that was back in Montgomery County originally in Pike Road, and we actually have some viewer photos being sent in. So check this picture out. This is a photo of hail that was seen in Pike Road. It's from Jeff Kimball. It was sent in from Jeff Kimball via our assistant news director, Desmond. Thank you very much for sending this in. But yeah, this is hail that was falling in Pike Road, and this is the same system that is now moving through parts of Macon County and Lee County. So that's why we are also hitting on these severe thunderstorm warnings as well as they pop up in central Alabama, because they can be very damaging and destructive. Those are large chunks of ice that you saw there on his hand. So with that falling, that can also cause damage. That is why we are also keeping a close eye on all of these thunderstorms that pop up throughout the day today, because all of them have the potential of producing hail. That's our number one concern. But of course, they can also produce damaging wind gusts, straight line winds, and maybe a tornado or two as well. And that's why we are on air right now, because of the tornado warning that's in Monroe and Wilcox County. But really quickly, I want to touch on these severe thunderstorm warnings as well. So you can see now that this severe thunderstorm warning has been extended into Lee County. That does include Auburn, Opelika, Beauregard as well. I'll put this into play mode actually, so you can see it a little bit better, how it's been somewhat traveling along I-85. So that's the general direction that we are watching this storm move through. Let's get another check on the radar. There we go, updated radar scan. And hail is dropping from this storm here. So that's likely where we are seeing some hail. That's likely a hail core there. This storm is right up against the radar site, so we do get a really good look at this storm. Notasulga, parts of your area seeing some heavy rain as well. This is down towards Little Texas, seeing a lot of heavy rain. Tuskegee, a lot of that rain now moving out of your area, but it is moving up towards Sand Hill, Beauregard, to the Auburn area, and eventually towards Opelika as well. Now we have another severe thunderstorm warning down in the Wiregrass. So this is now the National Weather Service office in Tallahassee, Florida. I'll change it over to the Fort Rucker radar to get a better look at these storms here, also producing a lot of hail, producing winds that are up to 60 to 70 miles an hour at times. This storm has been cycling and re-strengthening, and it also has the potential to start rotating. So we're keeping an eye on all of these storms. But again, we are on air here for this storm here, just to the south of Camden. And it does have rotation associated with it out in West Alabama. And that is why we are on air for this tornado warning. Now, this rotation here, let's change the radars around here. You'll see us do this for every storm out in West Alabama as we try to find the best look into the storm within the radar gap. But notice the rotation here is out on the east side of this polygon. So we're going to hold on. We're going to see if they actually end up extending that polygon. I'm just going to jump over and see if they've said anything new. Let's see, they are talking about baseball size hail possible in some storms. They have this issue, they anticipate for this to ramp up this evening. They will continue to keep an eye on the possibility, just like us, hail, tornadoes, damaging winds. So that's why we are all on air right now. We're keeping a close eye on this tornado warning, though. Again, Clark was expired from it. It is moving to the east. It is moving through Monroe and Wilcox County. It goes until 4:30, but as we mentioned earlier, these storms are moving much faster than that. So this storm is going to exit the warning polygon well before 4:30. It's 4:08 right now. So this will exit here. We'll see if they end up extending this. Let's see, there's enough rotation. I would not be surprised if they do extend this, because you can see there, that rotation right there out in West Alabama. So this is just south of Camden. Those of you to the east of this storm, you need to be prepared to move, including Pineapple. We've been mentioning you a lot. I would head to your safe spot right now just to be safe, because there's that rotation right there and you are in the path of the rotation. So although you are not in a tornado warning polygon right now, better to be safe than sorry as this thing continues to move east. So Beatrice, you are to the south of this. Midway is to the south of this. Pineapple, you are in the path of this. Herbert, you are in the path of this. Fort Deposit, if it holds on, it might head towards you. We'll see if it's still rotating by then, but just the first alert heads up Fort Deposit. Keep checking back in, keep checking up on this storm. As we quickly assess this, we'll see golf ball size hail falling in Thomasville and Springfield, ping pong size hail in Fulton. Okay, so we have a lot of hail reports coming with all of these storms that are popping up across parts of central and south Alabama. We'll go to reflectivity, a little bit easier to understand what we're tracking here. Multiple severe thunderstorm warnings in central Alabama, southeast Alabama, southwest Alabama. We do have the tornado warning that's in effect right now for Monroe and Wilcox counties. All of these storms, though, that are popping up have the potential to be strong. So notice that we are tracking some storms just to the south of Clanton. And earlier, they actually issued a significant weather advisory for places like Autaga and southeastern Chilton County and central Dallas County as well, east central Dallas County. So within those areas, you might not have an official warning, but it's something that it still can be strong. You still want to move inside because there can be very gusty winds. There could be hail. There could be a lot of lightning associated with this as well. So we are watching this closely. We've got a report it's hailing in Jones. Thanks to Bubba James for sending that on Facebook. Let's see, tornado warning. Was that in our coverage area? I get text alerts. Tornado warning, Monroe, Wilcox. Okay, so it looks like they probably extended that. Let's head on down over there. Sure enough. Okay, so we have a tornado extension, tornado warning extension. So for those still in Monroe and Wilcox counties, your time to shine. Get in your safe spot. See how fast you can do it. And then once this blows over, let me know how quickly you got to your safe spot, because this is something that needs to be an immediate action. You need to know where you're going to go. You need to have your safe spot already prepared and set up with a helmet or something soft for your head. Of course, put on some sturdy shoes as well, and then hunker down in your safe spot. Pineapple, you are officially under a tornado warning. This is a storm here that we are seeing rotate. And besides the rotation, it is also producing hail, and it is producing very strong straight line winds as well. So within this storm, we are watching rotation, we are watching for hail, and we are watching for straight line winds, which means even if the tornado doesn't pass over you, it is still a dangerous situation, and you need to be inside in an interior room. That means no external walls. Even if it's a bathroom, if it has an external wall, it doesn't count. It needs to be internal bathroom, closet, no windows associated with that room, and on the lowest level. If you live in an apartment complex, you need to get down to the lowest level. This is a tornado warning that has now been issued for places like Pineapple. Now, this is going to continue to move off to the east. It's still in Monroe and Wilcox counties for right now. So that's what we're tracking here, this tornado warning moving to the east. Eventually, if it holds together, it would move towards Fort Deposit. So that's why we were saying Fort Deposit earlier, be ready to move. You know how we just talked about setting up your safe spot? I would make sure you have everything ready to go in there, including your weather radio. Make sure to bring your weather radio in. Now, for those of you where it's sunny outside and you have no idea what we're talking about when it comes to severe storms, this is your perfect time, not only to prepare your safe spot, but to start charging all of your devices as well. You want to plug in your phones, your iPads, any of those devices that you use so you can stream our live coverage. If a tornado warning does pop up and you have to leave the area where your TV is, you can pull us up. We are live on Facebook right now. We are live on WSFA.com/watch. I believe, no, sorry, it's /live. So WSFA.com/live. You can go to the First Alert Weather app. If you scroll to the bottom, there's a link there for our live stream as well. So there's multiple ways that you can continue to watch our coverage and see exactly where that rotation is heading while you are safe in that closet or in the bathroom or wherever your safe spot is in an interior hallway. So you want to stay updated. So if you are right now in an area where it's sunny and it's nice, start charging your devices and start putting in a helmet and sturdy shoes into your safe spot. Better to be safe than sorry, guys. Overall, very dangerous situation. Even if you don't have a tornado warning pop up, if you have a severe thunderstorm warning pop up, like those now in Auburn and Opelika, Look at that. That is likely dropping hail. It is likely producing very gusty winds, very heavy rain. I'll turn on lightning. Lots of lightning popping up as well within this. So all of these storms are dangerous. Even if it's not a tornado warning, a severe thunderstorm warning needs to be taken seriously. You need to move inside. They can also cause damage. This is the setup. Overall, we have a couple different severe thunderstorm warnings, even more back into West Alabama, one down towards the Wiregrass, one in Central Alabama along I-85, and our tornado warnings, which is why we are on air. We are covering this closely. We are going to continue to watch for rotation within these cells. Now, yes, continuing to push east. Beatrice, you are still right on the edge of this tornado warning. You are to the south, but Pineapple, you are in the heart of this. You are in the path of this rotating storm. So Pineapple, you need to be in your safe spot. You need to head to your safe spot immediately. You need to make sure that you have sturdy shoes and a helmet. If you have to go looking for them, though, ditch it. Just get to your safe spot now. You have run out of time. You need to get there. You need to hunker down, and you need to stay in your safe spot until we clear you and until this moves through. So for those who need to be cleared, well, that's everyone who is still in this original warning polygon, but out to the west. So this is places like Coy. You are in the clear. Up towards Hessel, Culpeper as well. Now, those of you to the east of this, see where all this lightning is popping here and off to the east? Not in the clear just yet. We can't clear you just yet. There's rotation, and this is heading off to the east. I'm going to zoom in closely. Let's see, it looks like that rotation, Fatima? I think that's how you pronounce that, Fatima. That's where we are seeing rotation directly over Fatima. Lots of lightning. Chestnut, lightning popping near you. Buena Vista as well. Pineville, I'll zoom right back into you, Pineville. Notice here that you technically, and Beatrice, technically are right outside of that tornado warning. I think this is going to head north of you. I think this rotation is all north of you. However, with reflectivity, still seeing maybe some showers and storms heading your way, so be ready to move quickly as well. Notice that we have a lot of rain and thunderstorms, serious strong thunderstorms out to the west, likely producing some more hail as well. Tyler, have you seen anything new from any of the National Weather Service offices in our coverage area?
Nothing new regarding any sort of storm reports or data that you would not have already have mentioned. I'm following along, and I'm also following our live stream and your comments as well, following along with everything, getting storm reports, photos in, getting a lot of impressive hail photos from the shorter area, Pike Road, Auburn. I'm getting reports of hail covering roads. Yeah, you certainly have hail with these storms, and the ingredients are there for this to continue through the rest of the afternoon into the evening hours. There is a severe weather threat. That's why the severe thunderstorm watch goes until 9 o'clock for everyone except Chilton, Coosa, Tallapoosa, Chambers, and Perry counties. But even though you guys are not under a severe thunderstorm watch, you could still have one of these storms push through your neighborhood. So that's what we're looking at right now. There's the home view, the tornado warning. It's kind of a mess over here with all these warnings on the map. Let's zoom you in and show you that tornado warning a bit more and give you an idea of why that storm has prompted a tornado warning, where it may be headed, and where the worst of it is. It's past the Vredenburg area, so you are in the clear regarding the tornado aspect of this storm. North of Beatrice, it is literally riding right along the Monroe-Wilcox County line. This goes all the way up until the far eastern corner of Wilcox County, the northeastern corner there of Monroe County, and then it would get into locations closer to us. We're talking Butler County if it holds together, Lowndes County. This is Butler County, Forest Home and Braggs. That's up in Lowndes County here. That's getting closer to our area, and there's an updated polygon on the tornado warning there. See that flashing? That is an update from the National Weather Service, and this is still the National Weather Service in Mobile, albeit barely, but it still is. Let's see what they're talking about there. Continues tornado warning. Radar indicated there, located 8 miles northeast of Beatrice. So here's Beatrice. We're talking about right here, a potential tornado along the Monroe and Wilcox County line. There's a new scan, so it's probably right in there, that little hook, if you will. And hail with this storm, 2.75 inches in diameter. That, I believe, is the largest number I've seen so far today. That is baseball-size hail in this hail core in Wilcox County. So with this storm, it is not impacting any big populated areas here. It's east of Redenburg, north of Beatrice, southeast of Camden, west of Forest Home, but some big-time hail, at least $50 to golf ball size, possibly larger, and then the tornado would be right along the Monroe-Wilcox County line if there indeed were a tornado with this storm. But you've got the hail to the north, a classic supercell with the hook echo and a possible tornado where the hook is situated. Again, right there, and that's going to continue pushing east, straddling that Monroe-Wilcox County line. If this holds together, it's going to be knocking on the doorstep here of northwest Butler County and Forest Home. Right along Alabama 10 is where this hail core is headed here. And this is the reason we're on TV right now. Yeah, we have hail. Yeah, we have severe thunderstorm warnings. But unless the hail or the wind threat is extreme, we typically don't cut in unless there's a tornado warning. And this is our tornado warning that we're contending with right now for parts of northeastern Monroe and southeastern Wilcox County. It's a lot. I know you're looking at all these different polygons and all this and that, but what you really need to know is this is the polygon right here that is drawing our attention. It is a tornado warning for northeast Monroe and southeast Wilcox counties, and that warning goes until it looks like 4:45, so that's 25 minutes from now, and that's assuming it's still even in this polygon for the next 25 minutes. I doubt it will be as it continues pushing east at 40+ miles an hour. I think it's going to be out of this polygon before it even expires. So we'll have to see. This may expire before 4:45, but that's not necessarily a good thing because when this expires, that means the storm's going to be in new counties and new warnings may be issued. But this is the tornado warning we're watching. We'll even zoom in here a little bit more, see if we can show you some more of this storm in some more towns. So here's Alabama 21, Caledonia, Pineapple. You guys are about to get hit by large hail. Quarter, $50 golf ball size. It's possible it's even larger than that. So keep that in mind. That's the Wilcox County side of this storm. And here is that hook and potential tornado, which is, again, it couldn't be any more along the county line than it is. That's the Wilcox-Monroe County line. And what we can do is show you velocity and rotation within this and give you an idea here of if it actually is producing enough to say that we may have some sort of tornado concern here. And that certainly is not pretty to look at. That with this area still being far away from the radar, a signature like this is certainly supportive of a potential tornado here. Now, we have seen instances where radar looks a lot better than this in terms of us trying to tell you if there's a tornado or not, but that really bright, that dark blue right there going up against this sort of off-colored pixel, this right here to me suggests that we could certainly have a tornado here along the Monroe-Wilcox County line, and that's right along Alabama 21, south of Caledonia. And this is likely going to move in a fashion that takes it just south of Pineapple here. So if you're familiar with the area, you get off Interstate 65 and head west, and you head toward Pineapple here. That's the area this is going to be heading here. This is going to head right for I-65 in Butler County. When you get off the exit there for Pineapple, it's going to be riding right along that roadway that you would take to get from Pineapple to I-65. If you're familiar with that exit, that area, this right here is certainly some strong rotation. And let's take you in just a little more. There's our new scan, and that certainly looks impressive to me. Again, we are far away from radar here, so you have to take it not necessarily verbatim, as in taking this as a tornado on the ground, but note that this is one radar telling us that we may certainly have a possible tornado here, and that is riding along the Monroe-Wilcox County line. We are south of Caledonia. We are now east of Alabama 21. We are heading toward Alabama 47, and then Alabama 10 here is going to take you from Pineapple to I-65. This is a possible tornado here, and this is certainly some decent rotation, some strong rotation within this thunderstorm, and it has maintained itself pretty well. It's unobstructed to the south. There's no storm south of it to kind of chip away at the energy that this storm has. So it's going to keep holding its own here. Eventually, it will run itself out of energy, but it's got really nothing to prevent it from continuing on here and marching eastward. So we'll have to see how long it maintains its tornadic characteristics. Hopefully shorter rather than longer, but we're going to have to watch it closely. But for now, as we get new radar scans in, this is certainly some strong rotation leading to a possible tornado here. And I am watching the National Weather Service in Mobile like a hawk, and then Lee is as well. And not just Mobile, but Birmingham and Tallahassee as well, to see what they are seeing with this. So far, it's still radar indicated, but that is certainly a pretty strong area of rotation here right along the Wilcox-Monroe County line. Let's go ahead and see if we can't check the debris tracker, and the probability of us seeing anything with debris this far from radar may be pretty low. And yeah, I don't really see nothing on here that would jump out at me by any means. This is just a really big mess in terms of our debris tracker, and sometimes, actually more times than not, you do get debris tracker that looks like this, where you have multiple areas that look interesting. We look for greens and blues. That's a sign that you have objects of differing size in the atmosphere. So raindrops are typically fairly uniform. That's this color, the reds, the oranges, and the yellows. That's indicating that all the objects are almost the same size. But when you get these greens and blues, that's when this tool recognizes that there are objects with different shapes and sizes in the air. And so you have some green here and you have some green here. If we were close to a radar and we saw that, we'd say there's a tornado on the ground. But because we're far from radar, this is just noise. This is loud noise. And that's where it helps that you have us here to help tell you that this may look on another day, depending on where the storm was, this may be a tornado. But because of where the location is, far from a radar, this is not debris from a tornado on the ground. Although, if we go back to rotation, you most definitely are going to notice that there is a decent area of rotation with this storm right there. In fact, it almost looks as though there's two areas of rotation with this storm, which may be a sign that it's cycling. So this may be our first area of rotation. This may be getting choked off, and the storm may be going through what is called a cycle. And sometimes that happens with tornadic thunderstorms. The area that is producing a tornado, the hook echo, if you will, in a storm can sometimes choke itself off, and it just starts the process over again. You get a new area of rotation that typically forms off to the east and northeast of that. And that's that area right there, south of Pineapple, getting ready to approach the intersection here of Alabama 47 and Alabama 10. Certainly a decent couplet there, a decent area of rotation being indicated south of Pineapple, and that's still right along the Wilcox-Monroe County line. This right here, we still have two areas that we're watching, two different areas of possible rotation, possible tornadoes here, but I believe this first one is going to erode here very quickly. The next couple of radar scans, that might go away, and this might become the dominant area of rotation. Possible tornado just south of Pineapple. That is the area we're watching the most right now, because that is a tornado warning. That is the area that is getting most of our attention for the fact that it's under a tornado warning. And if we go out and look at the home view, no other tornado warnings right now. We do have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings up to the north there in Chambers County, far northern Lee County. That is leaving the Auburn-Opelika area. That's going to be a problem for southern Chambers County, the Lafayette area, the Valley area, and then in the southeast part of the state, the Wiregrass, Coffee, Dale, Henry counties. You guys have seen plenty of severe weather activity today. Then another severe thunderstorm south of the one we've been following for the last 30 minutes or so. This one is about to get into Monroeville. Let's take you to that one really fast to give you an idea of what that one may look like. And that one may not be as organized as the one that has prompted the tornado warning to its north, but still some very large hail along Alabama 41, and it is showing some signs of possibly trying to rotate and develop some sort of hook echo, if you will. So let's go ahead and into analysis mode and look at the rotation with this one. And again, we're far from radar, but you do have some there that suggest the red up against the green along Alabama 41. That would suggest there may be some rotation within this storm in Monroe County, near Monroeville. This is the storm south of the storm we've been following that is tornado warned up along the Wilcox County line. So this is a different storm in Monroe County there. But let's go back to the home view. And new tornado warning includes Greenville. That's going to be the storm that is approaching Pineapple. Let me zoom into that really fast, give you an idea of where that is, and then I'll send it right on over to Lee. We'll continue here tag teaming this and giving you guys the best info possible. Here's your new tornado warning blinking in red. That includes Greenville, Forest Home, I-65 there. There's your tornado possible along the Monroe-Wilcox County line. It's this little hook right here, and that is now going to be crossing in to Butler County in about 5 minutes or so. Forest Home, Greenville, in your safe place now. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You do not want to wait until it gets there. This storm has maintained itself. It's holding its own, and it's in an environment that supports severe weather and even possibly a tornado. So now Butler County, Lee, a tornado warning. What do you have over there at the Vance Law Firm Storm Track Zone for us now?
Well, they are watching. This was located 4 miles south of the heart of Pineapple. It is 20 miles west of Greenville, and it is moving east at 50 miles an hour. So let's reset this up. I was tracking hail. By the way, I'm just going to give a quick shout out to Lee County and those in the Auburn and Opelika area. Tons of hail reports, by the way. We will show you pictures later on, but first let's get to this new tornado warning that now includes Greenville. So if you are in Greenville, you need to be in your safe spot right now. This is moving quickly off to the east, and it is moving at 50 miles an hour. So we are continuing to track this situation. This is a storm that has been rotating for quite some time now, and it will continue to head off to the east. So that's why we give you all a first alert heads up about this. So Pineapple right over you. And then as it continues to move east, it will head towards Fort Dale and Greenville. Providence and Bowling and Wald are all in this tornado warning as well. So this is moving off to the east. Fort Deposit, you are just to the north of this warning polygon. This has been issued by the National Weather Service office in Mobile. And they also say that hail up to 1.5 inches is possible, and this tornado is radar indicated, meaning this tornado warning is for a possible tornado. They see it on radar. They see rotation in radar as it continues to head to the east. So we'll kind of set the stage here. This is that cell that keeps rotating. It's over Pineapple right now. Very scary situation in Pineapple. Lots of heavy rain, lots of lightning flashing, maybe even some hail, very gusty wind, and that is now moving off to the east. So those of you in Greenville, you need to be in your safe spot. It is time to move quickly, get there quickly. This will continue to push off to the east as we watch it. It will continue to move at about 50 miles an hour. So we have a couple of tools here that we can use to track this. We're going to use the Maxwell radar for this system, and we'll go over to shear rate. Let's see if we can see. Yeah, it's picking up on some signs of rotation there. So that's where it's seeing the rotation, which is what the storm is warned for, tornado warning. And this will continue to move to the east. This is a tornado warning that is in effect until 5:15. So Butler County, parts of Butler County under this tornado warning until 5:15, moving east at 50 miles an hour. If you are in Greenville, you need to be in your safe spot. By the way, out west, those of you near Clark County in Washington, you just got another severe thunderstorm warning. No surprise here, we have lots of severe thunderstorm warnings popping up. One in Jefferson and Walker County up to our north. So overall, everyone dealing with this situation. Again, we had, look at this, look at that hail in Chambers County heading towards Valley. Lots of hail forming on falling down. New tornado warning now, though, issued for parts of central Alabama. This is the rotation that we've seen for quite some time now moving over Pineapple, now heading to Forest Home, Saucer, Fort Dale, and Greenville, all within this tornado warning. This tornado warning goes until 5:15. So I'm going to put a track on this since I said it's moving east at about 50 miles an hour. See if I can draw it out there. There we go. Lots popping up. R2J Cameron Ridge by 452 possibly. It could be heading towards you. Greenville High School, that would be around 454. Fort Dale around 454 as well. And the Greenville bypass, exit 130 on I-65. It could be passing exit 130 and I-65 closer to 455 in the heart of Greenville around 456. So you have a little bit of time to get your stuff together. Grab your tablets, grab your helmet or something soft to protect your head, grab your sturdy shoes, and get to your safe spot immediately. You have very little time in order to get into your interior room that has no external windows or walls. I know I need to press this home because people think, oh, it's a bathroom, it's safe. If it has an exterior wall, if it has a window, it is not safe. That does not count. It has to be interior and on the lowest floor. If you are in some sort of a apartment, you need to get down to the lowest floor. If this continues and books the east, it would even head towards Goshen by 5:33. So we'll watch this. This has been rotating for quite some time, and that's why we've been on air for quite some time, just following this one storm as it rotates and heads off to the east. So Fort Deposit, you are to the north of this. Greenville, you are in the thick of this. You are in the tornado warning as we see rotation now crossing over towards Forest Home. I'm just going to set the stage here quickly. We do have multiple thunderstorms, severe thunderstorms popping up. A lot of these are producing hail. Look at all of this down in Ozark. Likely some hail falling there, some really gusty wind, a lot of lightning flashing there. Over in Lee County, we have a lot of your hail reports. We appreciate you sending those in. We will get to those shortly, but first, we want to make sure that we stay on this system here. Monroeville, you are on the south side of this severe thunderstorm, has the possibility of producing hail and very damaging wind gusts. And then we have this tornado warning, technically two, but the storm is leaving the first one and now pushing into this area here. So we do have this tornado warning that is in effect. And again, it will stay in effect. Let's see. Sorry, I have this pulled up. New severe thunderstorm warning that we're watching. The Lee County severe thunderstorm warning was canceled. This tornado warning will continue. It's moving east at 50 miles an hour. And it will continue for Butler County until 5:15. So Butler County, you really are concerned now. The other counties, Monroe, Wilcox, this is about to clear out of you. So Butler County, we are now watching you mainly. For those of you in Monroe and Wilcox County, this is just about to exit your area. Pineapple, stay in your safe spot. We will clear you soon, I promise. We'll take a quick look at velocity here. Yeah, it's off on the east side. There we go, new radar scan as well. So if you are on the east side of Pineapple, stay in your safe spot. If you are on the west side of Pineapple, like that rotation has moved out of your area. Buena Vista, though, still lots of lightning flashing. Places like Beatrice, still getting a lot of lightning, a lot of heavy rain, a lot of gusty winds. It's best to stay in an interior room because these storms keep popping up and producing severe weather, not only in the form of tornado warnings, but in the form of straight line winds and of hail as well. So we're watching all of these storms. All of these storms do have the potential to rotate. So I'm keeping my eye on a few areas along this line. But right now we do just have this tornado warning that we are watching as this rotation heads from Forest Home and Saucer towards Fort Dale and Greenville. And if it continues to move east, Honorville, you'll continue to see this warning inch closer to you. Center Ridge over towards the Live Oak area. So those of you in the Live Oak area, maybe even Troy, just continue to keep an eye on this storm. We're just watching it. It could start to weaken as it heads towards you. It could head off to the north of you a little bit, but it's best to stay tuned and continue to keep an eye on this storm as it creeps closer and closer to you. I know Troy Fest is going on, so I'm definitely going to keep my eye on Troy. Now, for those of you in the Montgomery area, check this out. Severe thunderstorm warning. There we go. That includes Wetumpka. Did not mean to do that. I meant to zoom in and give you a better view. There we go. So those of you near Wetumpka, Wallsboro, looks like it's right over there. You go. Millbrook and Coushatta, Elmore as well. All of you seeing some very heavy rain and some lightning. Let's see what the National Weather Service office says about this in Birmingham. They say hail up to 1.75 inches, winds 60 miles an hour. There we go. Okay, so severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Elmore County, parts of Montgomery County. So this severe thunderstorm warning here could produce winds up to 60 miles an hour. It's producing lightning. It is producing very heavy rain. It also has the ability to produce hail. So with large hail possible, you also need to move inside with the large hail and the wind threat. Those of you within this warning polygon here, all the way extending out towards Tallahassee, you need to be in your safe spot as this continues to move from west to east quickly. So we'll keep an eye on that. Prattville, this has moved past you, but just a friendly reminder for everyone here, just because it's not raining doesn't mean that you are safe to be outside. Look at that lightning strike right there. Not raining, still lightning struck. Lightning is very dangerous. It is best to stay inside on this Saturday as we are watching all of these thunderstorms pop up. Now, places like Alex City, we see thunderstorms near you. We're not talking about you near Alex City and Dadeville because it's not a severe setup. But I won't rule out the possibility for hail in any of these. In fact, look at that. Maybe a little bit of hail possible within that storm. All of these storms here have the potential of being severe with damaging wind gusts, but also with hail. Hail has been our main concern. And unfortunately, we've never been able to rule out rotation within these storms. And that is why we are still on air, because this storm is rotating and there is a tornado warning in effect for Butler County. So Butler County, those of you near Greenville, you need to be in your safe spot. Jump over to velocity. Let's see what we can see here. So that's where we're watching a bit of rotation here across our products. Overall, we'll continue to watch for rotation within this storm. It has been rotating for quite some time. It passed over Pineapple and now heading towards Greenville. Fort Deposit, you are on the north side of this tornado warning. Everyone else, as we were mentioning, we do have the possibility of hail. We have the possibility of damaging wind. And in fact, I believe my producer was in my ear saying that we might even have some images to show you of hail, which if that's ready to go, we will pull that up with our TMPs in the back, because this is, wow, look at that. Listen to that roar as well. This is why you need to move inside as well. Some of this hail, honestly, it could be bigger than that. It can produce damage. You definitely don't want to be outside when balls of ice are falling from the sky. Check out all of that hail that's falling. Wow, I don't know if my producer can get my ear and remind me where this video was taken, but this is coming from Auburn. All right, I did actually just share a video too on our social media of more hail falling in Auburn. Lee County, you really got a good bit of it. That's from red level, what you're watching on your screen right now. All of these storms that pop up, red level and Auburn can speak to it. Also, places like Pike Road can speak to it. We've got a lot of videos from Pike Road as well of hail. These storms are hailers. They can produce hail. They can produce a lot of gusty winds. So that's why when a severe thunderstorm warning is issued, take it just as seriously. Move inside. You do not want to be caught outside when it is hailing or when there are 60 or 70 mile per hour wind gusts. All right, well, let's jump back to the tornado warning. The reason why we are on air right now, we are seeing rotation move through portions of Butler County. Greenville, you are in this tornado warning. We're going to zoom in a little bit closer. Fort Dale, Forest Home, look at that. Lots of lightning, likely there is some heavy rain, lightning, hail is possible as well here. Looks like this is hanging out on the north side of this polygon. Let's see, more of this rain and lightning and hail possibility and gusty wind possibility extending back to the west of this, places like Midway and Beatrice. So we're watching this closely. Multiple severe thunderstorm warnings ongoing. In fact, we even have a camera in Wetumpka that we can pull up to show you what they're seeing and experiencing right now. Look at that camera rocking back and forth. Lots of heavy rain, lightning. They have the possibility for hail within that storm and gusty winds. So this is a severe thunderstorm warning that goes into effect is in effect until 5:30. So we are watching that severe thunderstorm warning. You're looking at it live right now. That is producing winds up to 60 miles an hour. Sorry, when you see me looking at the screen, this is when I'm talking with the National Weather Service office. So what you're looking at there in Wetumpka, winds 60 miles an hour, as well as the possibility of producing hail. So that's just one severe thunderstorm warning, one down in Ozark. One is now exiting our area, moving into Georgia. A couple more back in West Alabama, which is, of course, where we have our tornado warning as well. So Those of you near Monroeville, this is a tornado warning just to the north and northeast of you. Excuse me, a severe thunderstorm warning. This is a severe thunderstorm warning to the north and northeast of you. That goes until 5 o'clock this evening. Those of you in Greenville, your weather radios are going off. Maybe you're hearing tornado sirens, which you cannot count on, by the way. That's because you are in a tornado warning. This tornado warning goes until 5:15. It includes Herbert and Fort Dale, Greenville, Wald, Bowling, Providence as well. So we're keeping a very close eye on this. Tyler, have you seen anything new come out of this storm? Are you getting a bit better look at the velocity with the products you have over there on our green screen using our WSI technology?
Yeah, you know, I've been following it over here and as well on our Radar Scope, which is an app that we have that is very, very good at tracking severe weather. And I've been following along with the National Weather Service up in Birmingham as well as down in Mobile. And this is our storm here. I can even zoom into it a bit more. This is the storm on radar reflectivity. So this just shows you how heavy the precipitation is. And it is now clear of Forest Home, but stay in your safe place. Tornado warning still in effect. I would not venture out yet. You've still got some heavy rain over you, but the worst, the hail core with this storm and the possible area of rotation, possible tornado there is in this area right here along Alabama 10. It's the exit you take on Interstate 65 in the Greenville area. You can get off and go west and get to Pineapple. It's that road, that highway, Alabama 10, where the possible tornado is currently situated just southeast of Forest Home. We can even go in a bit more and show you what we're looking at with this, and maybe even a bit more than that. That's the beauty of these tools that we have. We can go in very far on these storms to give you the best idea possible. So here's Forest Home. Here's Alabama 10. Here's Interstate 65 right there, and that's that exit you would take to get to Pineapple. And there's your possible tornado. That back end, that hook echo with the storm is where that tornado would possibly be sitting, almost right over the 10 icon there for Alabama 10. And this is heading right for the Greenville area, generally speaking, the northern half of Butler County. And that's why the tornado warning is in effect. We still have an area with this storm that could certainly put down a tornado. Let's go ahead and go to analysis mode and check rotation. And there it is. If we did have a tornado, it would probably be in this general vicinity here, the reds and the greens going against each other. But this is by no means alarming in terms of what the rotation looks like on radar. This doesn't scream any sort of tornado on the ground, anything like that. No reports of damage in terms of this storm, no reports of a confirmed tornado, and no reports of anything on the ground so far with this. Let's go to debris tracker and see what we've got going on. Nothing there. Certainly a messy look there at this tornado warning for Butler County. Our debris tracker not showing any sort of debris with that. We can go back. Let's go to the general radar view here, so reflectivity, and we'll show you what we're looking at in terms of the home view really fast, just to give you an idea. We'll take you to radar, and we'll take you to the home view. There's that supercell that's prompted that tornado warning heading right for Greenville. There's a severe thunderstorm warning that includes Monroe County, northeast of Monroeville. In fact, this is almost forming a line here, if you will, from Grove Hill to Monroeville. Greenville, all the villes are getting in on this. Hayneville, Montgomery, and Wetumpka, there's a line of storms that has pretty much formed, and it's kind of broken. So you've got individual cells within this line, and that's why some of them have prompted tornado warnings, because they're remaining isolated enough. And there's another hefty storm down along the Covington-Butler County line. That may end up being a severe thunderstorm here shortly. Let's go in to the Wetumpka storm and show you what we're looking at here and zoom in as much as we can to give you an idea of where exactly the worst of this storm is. It is now just southeast of downtown Wetumpka here. So this is along 231. The hail just south of downtown Wetumpka on that drive you take to get to Wetumpka from Montgomery up 231. There is going to be some large hail, potentially large hail, right before you get to downtown. We're talking near the casino. We're talking just south of that area. You've got the Walmart. You've got the McDonald's there on the corner there with 231 before you get to the casino. You've got the Zaxby's that sits there. You've got multiple restaurants. That's that very populated stretch of 231 leading into Wetumpka, likely getting some hail and perhaps some large hail at that, quarter-size, golf ball size, if not larger. The downtown portion of Wetumpka sits just north of the worst of this. So if you're Wetumpka and you cross the bridge and go west, you're not seeing much more than a little bit of rain, and you'll hear this in the background. You'll hear thunder without a doubt, and you'll look at this and you'll see a very ominous look to the sky. But Wetumpka points north and west. You're not getting in on this. This is pretty much hop on 231 from Wetumpka, head south into Montgomery, and that is where we're getting some potentially large hail with this.
Just a fun fact, I wouldn't call it fun, but our live camera sits atop the Wind Creek Casino and Hotel in Wetumpka, and it went down.
It went down.
Of just how severe that thunderstorm is. So we do not have a live look over Wetumpka anymore.
Oh, that is sad. I do not like when we lose one of our cameras.
Neither
Well,
do I, but that just speaks to the power of
right.
this storm.
Because those run on, you obviously need electricity and then internet to send us back the video. So that means electric or internet or both went down at the casino, and that prompted the camera to go down. So there's certainly some strong wind, powerful enough storms to knock out power without a doubt as they push on through. Aside from the hail threat, you've got the high wind threat, the heavy rain, thunder, and lightning that can cause power outages. So that's another aspect of this. Here is the storm now. The latest update, that is very, very intense in terms of the rain and the hail potential. I believe this is being warned for golf ball size hail, quarter to golf ball size, somewhere in that general vicinity, 1 to about 1.75 inches in diameter, somewhere in there. Potential maximum hail size just east and southeast of Wetumpka now in Elmore County. So that's that storm. We can go back to the home view here. That's a severe thunderstorm warning. That is not a tornado warning. And go back, well, yep, there's that severe thunderstorm warning that I mentioned for a cell that could be severe. That is now in effect. Northern Covington, southeastern Butler, and the heart of Crenshaw County includes Luverne. That is a severe thunderstorm warning. But the storm that we're on the air for, and we have to be, is this tornado warned storm in Butler County between Forest Home, riding Alabama 10 into Greenville here, approaching I-65. This is a possible tornado with this storm that's prompted the tornado warning. And that is still radar indicated, I believe. We'll check and see if Mobile's mentioning nothing new regarding that storm in terms of confirmed or not. But we definitely still have that tornado warning for Butler County. And that goes until, I believe that goes all the way up until, let's see, 5:15. That may be a little long, but we'll see what happens here because that's 25 minutes from now, and Butler County ends right here. So we'll have to see how long it's actually in Butler County, or if they maintain the tornado warning or drop it and put a severe thunderstorm warning. And there you just see a new polygon pop on there. Now there are parts of Butler County that are under a tornado warning for this storm and a severe thunderstorm warning for a storm to the south. You may be under two warnings at one time. It gets very convoluted. It gets very complicated. And sometimes it's just annoying, honestly, to get all these different warnings. You don't even know what you're supposed to be looking out for. But if you're in this red polygon and your phone is telling you you're under a tornado warning here, Butler County, Forest Home, you are done with the tornado potential. But Greenville, and if you're in this red polygon here, you need to be in your tornado safe place because a potential tornado is certainly something we're warning about. Right here, right along Alabama 10, west of Greenville, there's your hook with this storm. There's a new radar scan coming in. There's the possible tornado. We can zoom in a bit here and show you if we're seeing any rotation with that. So here's Alabama 10. There's downtown Greenville. This right here would be the possible tornado if we do indeed have one. And I can check with our rotation tools and let you know what we're seeing here. So possibly a little bit of rotation in here. Nothing, again, alarming by any means. Nothing that's jumping out as crazy strong or tornado certainly on the ground. But we are getting closer to radar here. So that may be giving us a better look at the storm because we're just getting closer to radar. Let's go back to the home view and zoom back into that and get a better perspective from a different radar on this storm. So let's go back into the Greenville area and get a different perspective with a different radar here and see if we can't see something different. So here's Greenville. There's your possible tornado. Let's go back to the rotation and see if we've got any there. And this is a different radar here, and nothing that's jumping out as tornado on the ground heading into Greenville, which is certainly good news. We can also check. There are multiple tools we have the ability of looking at here with our analysis tool. On radar, we can look at rotation. We can look at velocity as well, and that's going to show you got your greens, and this is sometimes a tool that shows greens versus light blues. That's just the color scheme that's selected here. And again, nothing in terms of anything over here that looks alarming. Greenville, stay in your safe place. If you're in Butler County, stay in your safe place, but I don't see anything at this point, 4:53, that would suggest to me we have a tornado on the ground, but that tornado warning is still in effect. You see this flashing here? This is all just a severe thunderstorm watch. All the counties under the severe thunderstorm watch just getting an update to it. That's why these counties are flashing. That includes Lowndes, Autauga, Montgomery, Elmore, Pike, Barber, Russell, Bullock, Lee, Macon, Coosa, Tallapoosa, and Chambers counties there. That's the updated watch, the severe thunderstorm watch, which goes for almost everyone here. The only counties not included in any sort of watch are Marengo, Perry, and Dallas. Everyone else is under a severe thunderstorm watch heading into the evening hours due to the storms pushing through the heart of our region now. And it's possible, you see up toward Tuscaloosa, a couple more storms try to redevelop and push through later this evening between 8 and 10 o'clock. But the main act, I think, with this is going to be what's down in the wiregrass and this line, this nasty line of hail-producing thunderstorms and damaging wind gusts producing thunderstorms marching across the I-65 corridor right now. If I could draw a line, really, it'd be Wetumpka to Greenville to Monroeville back to Grove Hill. That is the corridor of intense thunderstorm activity right this moment. We can even, well, there's a new severe thunderstorm warning. So they've warned out ahead of the tornado warning with a severe thunderstorm warning for northern Crenshaw County. We've seen this already once. They put out a severe thunderstorm warning, and then eventually they change their minds, and it's a tornado warning. Sometimes the National Weather Service will do that. They'll put a severe thunderstorm warning out to cover the hail and damaging wind potential, and then if things start to look a little more ominous on the tornado side of the spectrum, they'll put a tornado warning over the top of a severe thunderstorm warning, because tornado warning stands on a pedestal above a severe thunderstorm warning. You can always go one up. There's a new severe thunderstorm warning blinking as well. That includes, it looks like Auburn. You're getting ready for another intense thunderstorm just north of Tuskegee, east of Wetumpka, heading to Auburn there, right along I-85 and just north of I-85. That's a hail-producing storm, but the reason we're on the air, if you're still wondering at home, why are Lee and Tyler still going on and on and on about these storms? It's this one right here, tornado warning for Butler County and moving right into Greenville as I speak. This would be the potential tornado right here. You need to be in your safe place right now in Greenville and surrounding communities and neighborhoods in and around the Greenville area. That is where the tornado warning is currently in effect. If we go back to the home view here, it looks like, Lee, you can confirm this for me. Yeah, the red was dropped. The tornado warning for Butler County looks to be dropped.
They did, but I believe everyone in the back, all the smart people in the back, our TMPs and producers, are working with storm chaser Brandon Kopic. We work with him a lot, and he says that he sees a large rotating wall cloud coming into Greenville, Alabama.
Okay, let's go back into Greenville, and I'll show you that.
Yeah, they're trying to get the feed right now. You show them that the tornado warning was canceled, but we're going to watch it, and we'll hold on to it anyway because he sees a rotating wall cloud.
That's this right here. So he's probably somewhere here just south of downtown Greenville looking into this storm, and this would be what he's talking about right in here, crossing I-65. Of course, that's the area on 65 where you've got a couple exits in a row. You can get off for Greenville, and you got all those restaurants and shops right off the interstate. That's where it's headed, and here we go. Here's his current live view. Friend up from Ohio here. He comes down often and helps us out with live coverage from the ground, and I mean, it definitely, there's something there, absolutely, some sort of mesocyclone. But of course, you know, when you get out into rural Alabama, you start to run into internet issues and speed problems, and that's why the images may not be perfect through the entirety of it. But Brandon is on that. He always seems to be in the right place at the right time, and based off of just that, certainly a lowering. And if he's reporting rotation, he is a certified storm chaser. The storm is rotating, and it's possible that they put a tornado warning back on this storm. But For now, it's a severe thunderstorm warning, and that includes the city of Greenville, and that includes, oh my goodness, it looks like Josh Johnson has joined us. Josh, are you ready to go? Are you ready to, can I give it to you? Oh, here we go. Josh is here. Here we go.
I mean, Josh, also thank you for all the work that you were doing at home and behind the
bet.
scenes. Yeah, he's been on it all day.
Yeah, appreciate that. And yeah, you guys have done a phenomenal job kind of tracking this wild weather day that we've had. Lots of hail. We've had a lot of tornado warnings thus far. I've only seen 2 confirmed tornadoes on radar. That was in Henry and Houston counties. This has primarily been a hail event, but we've had a couple of tornadoes in the mix as well. This is what I'm concerned about, and this is why we're going to carry this for a minute or two longer before the National Weather Service, before we go back to programming. The National Weather Service has canceled the tornado warning, but gosh, there is still a very well-defined hook echo right there. And if we had a tornado, it's going to be right over Greenville right now. For reference, here's Alabama Highway 10. I-65 Barbecue sits right there at the intersection of 10 and 65. This is the main Greenville exit right here. Cracker Barrel, Bates House of Turkey, Greenville High School. It's right over that. So it's right over the middle of town here. On the radar presentation on this, frankly, is not overwhelming. It is there, though. There is still some modest rotation from downtown Greenville out to the east a little bit. So this would be downtown, Mack Crenshaw Airport, Greenville High School, some of the restaurants I just named. It's mainly past there now. If we have a tornado, it's going to be out here on this this eastern part of the city of Greenville. If we can, let's go back to Brandon's feed and see if maybe he's getting a little better connectivity now.
He did just tweet at us that it has dissipated.
The wall cloud is dissipated. That's great news. So the radar signature has wound down a little bit. The wall cloud, as seen by a storm spotter, is dissipating as well. So housekeeping-wise, let's do this. At 5 o'clock, we will toss back to programming. If there are no other developments here, that's the way we'll kind of play this. So before we go, I'll give you a kind of a quick synopsis of the situation. There are multiple severe thunderstorms affecting Dale, Henry, Crenshaw, Butler, Elmore, southern Tallapoosa, western Lee counties. The main threat in all of these is going to be large hail, golf ball sized hail or larger. So if you have a garage or a carport, get the cars in there. This is all moving east. This will be over fairly quickly, and really for most of our western and northwestern viewing area, this is mainly over already. The eastern counties, the southeastern counties, we still have some miles to go. We'll be tracking this for you throughout the evening. Should we see any life-threatening weather, we will break back into programming, and of course we'll have a full update on WSFA 12 News at 6 and 10 this evening.